I've been talking a lot about filters lately, so I thought I'd share some more mistakes, lessons learned with you about using what are really water filters for filtering your cider or your wine, whatever the case may be. And we just had a little event in the house with a water filter, so that said, there's more to tell. So here I am, I'm going to tell. First of all, the filters I use in the house are common, over the counter, 10-inch filters, which incidentally, many low end wine cider filters are, they use a household 10-inch canister. So you can use these filters in those canisters. Now, filters are rated in microns, all right? Tiny part of an inch and or of a meter. I'm sorry, they're microns. And this one in my hand is a 1 micron filter. It's a poly blown filter. You can see it's solid, white on the end. Okay, hollow in the inside. Now that's kind of important because the way the filters work is they have a lot of surface area on the outside, and the solids are captured as they move through the medium, and the clarified, reduced fluid comes out the center and goes off to the next stage of filtration or racking or bottling, whatever. Okay. As I said, this is it's just a poly filter, and it says specifically on it 1 micron. DuPont 500 series, effective in reducing silt rust sediment. You don't want to buy these. Why? Because they do not tell you anywhere on the packaging what the size is. That is, what is the porosity of the filter. It could be anywhere from 20 microns to 1 micron. I'm willing to bet it's 10 micron. 1 micron is very tight for a sediment filter. Okay, so stay away from these. If you're filtering for clarity, you don't know what this is going to do. Spend your money someplace else. That's what they get for not telling you. Now, this is a pleated filter. It gives it lots of surface area for capturing chunks. This is a 20 micron filter. It's pretty much useless for the kind of filtration you're going to do, but I tried. It had absolutely no effect, except it smells a little bit like cider now. So anyway, again, you can see that it is hollow on the inside. It's got a little kind of a grating in there to help support the pleats, but it's really only good for chunks. It's meant for the garbage that comes out of my well, the large garbage. So this is, you don't want to buy a pleated filter for filtering cider. The next style you'll see around is a string wound. Pretty cool, huh? Looks like a lot of string. It is, in fact. Again, hollow in the middle. I can't see that. Okay. Yep, hollow in the middle. It's got that little plastic thing to help retain the shape. This is a 10 micron. You're not going to see it go smaller. Again, this is a very coarse filter. It's meant as a sediment trap for stuff coming in your pipes, be it rust, grit, sand, whatever. It's not meant for your cider or your wine. It's just not the right type of filter. Except it does smell a little bit like cider now, so I've enhanced it. These dark filters, what's with that? This is an activated charcoal filter. So if you look at it and you say, hey, it's 5 micron, I could use that as a coarse filter. You don't want to do that. An activated charcoal filter, that charcoal is designed to adsorb flavor and odors. It's basically going to strip your product of everything you put in it for somebody else to enjoy. The only thing these are good for is filtering cheap vodka to try and make it better vodka. I'm not going to go into that. But again, don't use an activated charcoal filter on your product. It's going to literally strip all the work you put into it. Okay, again, and we use this for the outflow of our water softener. So anything that gets past the water softener, it helps to reduce odor because we're on a stinky well. One of these filters is a 5 micron filter. The other one is a 1 micron filter. There are no markings on here at all to tell you which one is which. So when you take them out of the package, suddenly you don't know what you have in your hands. So, and there are no markings on them. It's just a little stamp, but it doesn't tell you what the porosity is. So I say to you, if you buy 1 microns as a coarse filter for your product, which might work well, and you have other ones around for the house or whatnot, don't mix them up. Keep them in the original packaging for the moment you're going to put them into the canister because you can't tell them apart. Now, these don't have seals on the end. They fit over a stub on the bottom of the canister and the top of the canister, and that forces a seal. If you look at this one, okay, he's going to tip it. You can see where the pressure points were to make the effective seal. Okay, now how again do these work? They are kind of variant. There's a gradient inside where they're capturing big chunks on the outside, and as those particles work their way in, they have an effective filtration on the inside. So while they might grab larger particles on the outside, on the inside, they're going to try and capture the rated particle size. So the 1 micron is obviously going to catch 10 micron stuff on the outside, but by the time it gets to the middle, if it's wiggled through, it will stop up to 1 micron on the inside. Now, here's the thing to be aware of. These can saturate. And we had a little disaster here at the house. I'm not proud, I'll share with you. When one of these filters, these polyfilters, this one's been cut apart on a table saw. You can see that's our drinking water coming out of the well. We have a high mineral content, high iron, high stuff in our water. But on the inside, it isn't saturated yet. It hasn't gone all the way into the filter. I'm going to try and get this to the camera as much as I can. But you can see how some of those dark solids have started to permeate into the filter media, but they haven't gone through the filter media. Important. This filter was changed on time. This filter was not changed on time. It is saturated all the way through the filter media. Okay. The only thing it was really doing that's measurable was tremendously increasing the back pressure on my well pump, and it damaged my filter housing. I have a new filter housing on order so I can shut off the water and replace it. That is saturated. Now, I don't know what you would see with cider, but for the record, you're going to watch your pump back pressure go up significantly, which is why I have a video on how to put a pressure gauge on your filter canister. Okay, this was a disaster, and this is really negligence on my part. It's on my calendar when to change filters. I didn't do it on time. Now you know. So, as I mentioned in the canister video, there are sources for 5 micron, 1 micron, fractional micron filters that you can use in a standard household canister. Okay, but I wanted you to see the other types that may try to beguile you and say, use me. No. Stay with this form factor. Make sure you keep them apart if you're using different sizes at different stages, and they are disposable. So, as I said, they're about $7 a piece. If you buy them on Amazon, they're much less. Do your run. If you soak them in sanitizer, you could put them in a container filled with sanitizer, or take your canister, rinse it with run water through it, load your canister with sanitizer, and leave them in there for a while, and just rinse them out again. But eventually, you're going to see back pressure build up, and that's when it's time to chuck it. Okay, because they will spoil. You know, what's in them will spoil. And I have seen things spoil, grow stuff in Star Sands. So don't, Star Sands meant to dry. So, but if you're waiting overnight, yeah, just put them in sanitizer overnight. You'll be fine. So that's all I've got. I hope you found it useful, illuminating, educational. And if you're using these for your home, by all means, change your home filters on time. Don't delay, because you will start breaking things. I did. I'm very sad about that. Until later, take care of yourselves. Bye for now.